Hello and God bless you. Well, today we are continuing our 30 days of the Books of Psalms series. Today we're in day 8. And as you see, we're going to be reading Psalm 44 through Psalm 48. And in day 1 through 7, I just read from the book of Psalms. You know, there's a lot of parts in the Psalms that connects to other scriptures. I enjoy seeing that because it makes the scriptures come to life. But, you know, I didn't include them in the first 7 days. But I figure we're doing a study, we might as well go ahead and, you know, do some cross-referencing. In Oklahoma, they call it chasing a rabbit, so we're going to chase some rabbits today. So, starting here in Psalm 41, verse 1, this is the sons of Korah. To the chief musician for the sons of Korah, Mishal, we have heard with our ears, O God. Our fathers have told us what work thou didst in their days, in the times of old. How thou didst drive out the heathen with thy hands, and planteth them, how thou didst afflict the people and cast them out. Now we're going to cross-reference this with Exodus 15:17, which says, Thou shalt bring them in and plant them in the mountain of thine inheritance, in the place, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. Now going back to our text in verse 3, For they got not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them, but thy right hand and thine arm, and the light of thy countenance, because thou hast favor unto them. And we're going to cross-reference this with Joshua 24:12, which says, And I sent the hornets before you, which drove them out from before you, even the 2 kings of the Amorites, but not with thy sword, nor with thy bow. Now back to our text. Thou art my king, O God. Command deliverance for Jacob. Through thee will we push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and hast put them to shame that hated us. In God we boast all the day long, and praise thy name forever, Selah. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame, and goeth not forth with our armies. Thou makest us to turn back from the enemy, and they which hate us spoil for themselves. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and hast scattered us among the heathen. Thou sellest thy people for naught, and doeth not increase thy wealth by their price. And we're going to cross-reference this with Judges 2:14. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of the spoilers that spoiled them, and he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. Now going back to our text. Thou makest us a reproach unto our neighbors, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us. We're going to cross-reference this with Jeremiah 24:9. And I will deliver them to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth for their hurt, to be a reproach and a proverb, a taunt and a curse, in all the places whither I shall drive them. And going back to our text in 14, thou maketh us a byword among the heathen, a shaking of the head among the people. My confusion is continually before me, and the shame of my face hath covered me. For the voice of him that reproacheth and blasphemeth by reason of the enemy and avenger. All this is come upon us, yet have we not forgotten thee, neither have we dealt falsely in thy covenant. Our heart is not turned back, neither have our steps declined from thy way. Though thou hast sore broken us in the places of dragons, and covered us with the shadow of death. Now we're going to go to Jeremiah 13:16 and cross-reference it. It says, give glory to the Lord your God, before he causeth darkness, and before your feet stumble upon the dark mountains. And while ye look for light, he turneth it into the shadow of death, and maketh it gross darkness. Now back to our text in 20. For we have forgotten the name of our God. If we have forgotten the name of our God, or stretched out our hands to a strange God, shall not God searcheth this out? For he knoweth the secrets of the heart. Yea, for thy sake are we killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter. In this verse right here, in Romans 8:36, is quoted. It says, as it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Now going back to our text. Awake, why sleepest thou, O Lord? Arise, cast us not off forever. Wherefore hidest thou thy face and forgettest our affliction and our oppression? For our soul is bowed down to the dust, our belly cleaveth unto the earth. Pardon me. Arise for our help, and redeem us for thy mercy's sake. Now we're going to Psalm 45. Verse 1, this is to the sons of Korah again. To the chief musician upon, and I'll probably triple this word, Shoshim. For the sons of Korah, Mishal, a song of loves. My heart is indeed a good matter. I speak of the things which I have made, touching the king. My tongue is the pen of a ready writer. Thou art fairer than the children of men. Grace is poured unto thy lips. Therefore God hath blessed thee forever. Gird thy sword upon thy thigh, O most mighty, with thy glory and thy majesty. And in thy majesty ride prosperity, because of truth and meekness and righteousness. And thy right hand shall teach thee terrible things. Thine arrows are sharp in the heart of the king's enemies, whereby the people fall under thee. Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. The sepulchre of thy kingdom is a right sepulchre. It's not sepulchre. But this is in Hebrews. Scepter. Not sepulchre, scepter. But unto the Son he saith, Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom. And this is quoting the scripture we just read. Sorry, I tripped over that word. I was thinking of sepulcher, like a grave, but it's scepter, like a king's little cane thing he's got. Anyway, let's go back to our text. Thou lovest righteousness and hateth wickedness. Therefore God thy God hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. All thy garments smell of mirth and aloes and cassia, out of the ivory palaces whereby they have made thee glad. King's daughters were among thy honorable women. Upon thy right hand did stand the queen in gold of Ophir. Hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thine ear. Forget also thine own people and thy father's house. So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him. And the daughter of Tyre shall be there with a gift. Even the rich among the people shall entreat thy favor. The king's daughters is all glorious within. Her clothing is of wrought gold. She shall be brought unto the king in raiment of needlework. The virgins, her companions, that follow her, shall be brought unto thee. With gladness and rejoicing shall they be brought. They shall enter into the king's palace. Instead of thy fathers shall be thy children, whom thou mayest make princes in all the earth. I will make thy name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore shall the people praise thee forever and ever. Now we're going to Psalm 46, and apologize if I trip over the first word in the third line there, but this is the sons of Korah again. To the chief musician for the sons of Korah, a song upon Alamoth. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with swelling thereof. Selah. There is a river, the stream whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. God is in the midst of her, she shall not be moved. God shall help her in that right early. The heathen raiseth, and the kingdoms were moved. He uttereth his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in asunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Now on to Psalm 47, verse 1. Also the sons of Korah, to the chief musician, a psalm for the sons of Korah. O clap your hands, all ye people. Shout unto God with the voice of triumph. For the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. He shall subdue the people under us, and the nation under our feet. He shall choose our inheritance for us, the excellency of Jacob whom he loved. Selah. God has gone up with a shout, the Lord with the sound of a trumpet. Sing praises to God, sing praises unto our King, sing praises. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing ye praise with understanding. God reigneth over the heathen. God sitteth upon the throne of his holiness. The princes of the people are gathered together, even the people of the God of Abraham. For the shields of the earth belong unto God. He is greatly exalted. Now to Psalms 48, verse 1. I like this chapter because it starts off with a song that I've sung in church many times. So I always kind of think about that song whenever I think about this verse, this chapter. But here we are, Psalm 48, verse 1, and it says, a song and psalm for the sons of Korah. Great is the Lord, and greatly do we praise in the city of our God, and the mountain of his holiness. Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion in the sides of the north, the city of the great King. And those two verses are the song that I've sung several times at church before, and that's just the entire song pretty much. But it's a good little worship song that we'll just worship the Lord with. I would sing it, but y'all may not want to hear me sing. So we'll go on to the next verse. But it's good. God is known in her palaces for a refuge. For lo, the kings were assembled, they passed by together. They saw it, and so they marveled. They were troubled and hasted away. Fear took hold upon them there, in pain as of a woman in travail. Thou breakest the ships of Tarshish with the east wind. As we have heard, so have we seen in the city of the Lord of hosts, in the city of our God, and God will establish it forever. Selah. We have thought of thy loving kindness, O God, in the midst of thy temple. According to thy name, O God, so is thy praise unto the ends of the earth. Thy right hand is full of righteousness. Let Mount Zion rejoice. Let the daughters of Judah be glad because of thy judgments. Walk about Zion and go round about her. Tell the towers thereof. Mark ye well her bulwarks. Consider her palaces, that ye may tell it to the generation following. For this God is our God forever and ever. He will be our God even unto the death. And there we go. We finished day 8. And when we finish day 9, tomorrow we'll be a third of the way into it. Hope y'all enjoyed how we did kind of doing some cross-referencing. You know, as I was reading some of the scriptures from the book of Psalms in our first 7 days, there was stuff just that I thought I could touch on. Of course, if you've watched any of my videos, a lot of them I've already brought up in other videos, but it's always kind of worth reminding. Like such as Psalm 22, there is a lot of foreshadowing of Jesus in that chapter. But I'm going to try to do some cross-referencing every day for the rest of it. I may, on the sermon notes, which are both in the description below for today, I may go back to day 1 through 7 and add some cross-referencing scriptures that we didn't talk about, but just add them to that so that if you want to look them up, you can. Because for me, like I say, you got to read the word every day for yourself. You can't let anybody tell you what's in there. You got to search the scriptures for yourself. And for me, doing the cross-referencing stuff makes the Bible come to life. And I really enjoy it a lot. But let's end it for today. And God willing, we will be back tomorrow to read day 9. And we will be a third of the way through the book of Psalms. See you tomorrow.